This is a 25-year-old PC, and here I've got the best and cleanest PC parts you can find, so let's build the cleanest sleeper build. Starting off by unplugging all the cables. Ew! Unscrew and remove everything you see. I wonder what these hard drive have in. Imagine finding bitcoins inside, like I would give a PC to everyone. Unscrew and remove the motherboard. Gently remove the hard drive support. And now that everything is out, this is how the case looks completely empty. Now all that's left is to give it a good clean and bring in the new parts. But we'll save that for part 2, so make sure you're following or you can check out the full video on YouTube. 3, 2, building the cleanest sleeper build. Part 4. For the GPU, we're using this RX 9670. Well, it looks good being fully white and should be more than enough for Roblox at 8K60. But before we install the GPU, I'm also installing this vertical mount from Lian Li. The coolest thing about this vertical mount is that it's not only easy to install, but also can be tilted to your preference. Plus, we got a couple of RGBs here in the bottom so the GPU can perform better. The PC is looking good so far, but we still have this empty space that can be filled up. Can you guess what we're adding here? That's right, we're adding another screen. As 8 screens were not enough, we needed to add another one, so yeah. The PC, screens, and everything are installed, so let's power it on in 3, 2, 1. And wow, it looks incredible. We still need to install Windows, customize everything from the screens and RGB, and then we can test its performance and temperature, but we'll save that for the final part, so stay tuned and make sure you're following if you don't want to miss out. Building the cleanest sleeper build. Part 2. For the motherboard, we're using this Aorus B850. It's got a couple of RGBs on the side, a ton of SSD ports, and it's got this white and gray theme, which will look great for this case. For the CPU, we're using this Ryzen 7 7800X3D. It comes with 8 cores and 16 threads, so it should be good for any high-end games, especially Roblox at 8K60. For the RAM, we're using these two sticks of 16 gigs from Kingsbank. It looks really good in this white color, and it's got a couple of RGB on the top, which will help a lot in performance. For the SSD, we're using this 1TB from... Seems like the original SSD got lost somewhere, so we're gonna use this 1TB from Lexar. Don't ask me where it came from, but the most important part is that it gets the job done. Now with the motherboard ready, it's time to place it into our new case. This process is super simple. Place the motherboard on its place, screw it in, and that's it. Next up is the power supply. For the power supply, we're using this 12,000 watt from Lian Li. Power supply is the easiest one to install so far, just 4 screws in the back, and that's it. Next up is the AIO, but we'll save that for part 3 as that's the hardest component to install, so make sure you're following if you don't want to miss out. Building the cleanest sleeper build. Final part. Now that the Windows is installed, let's update it. Install L-Connect to control all the fans, screens, and AIO. Then we can finally install a proper monitor and test some games. For the games, I tested CS2 and Forza, and we had no problem running on max settings. Played with it for a couple of hours and everything went smooth. But to properly test its true power and temperature, we're gonna throw in 3D Mark. On stress test, we got around 40 FPS with a loop score of 3769 and the temperature never crossed 65 degrees, which is perfect. Now of course the airflow is not going to be better than the 011 or something made for it, but keep in mind that we're not cooling 25090s that need ton of airflow, so we're good. So now that we have the cleanest sleeper build, was it hard to build one? Well, no harder than building the first PC. Would I build another one? Nah. But was it worth it? absolutely yes. Of course, I'm not gonna keep these components in this case for long. I'll switch them in the future to this O11 I had laying around, and I might even give it away too. So make sure you're following if you don't want to miss out. Building the cleanest sleeper build, Part 3. For the AIO, we're using the Lian HydroShift LCD. It's got a customizable screen, 3 included fans, and all the cables are hidden inside the tubes, so nothing is visible. The AIO was not easy to install, but after a lot of calculations, I finally found the best spot. More calculations, drill some holes, drill some more holes for the airflow. Since we're cooling a CPU, we're gonna need a good airflow. And then in a couple of minutes, the AIO is finally in place. Next up are the fans. For the fans, we're using this Lian Li Unifans LCD. But before we install these fans, I'm gonna have to make a cut right here, so all the cables will pass through and nothing will be visible. I didn't want to unscrew the motherboard as that would have taken me a lot of time, so I just started the cut as it is. I didn't feel like drilling holes here in the bottom, so I'm just gonna place them like this, and here on the side there's already some space for the airflow, so we won't need much from the lower ones. With the fence in place, all that's left now is to install the cables, manage them, and install the GPU. But we'll save that for part 4, as we still need some more work on this case, and then we can finally test its performance and temperature. So make sure you're following, or you can check out the full video on YouTube.